Hi guys, welcome to my online presentation on understanding pertussis, also known as whooping cough. In this presentation, we'll delve into what pertussis is, what are the symptoms, how it spreads, and most importantly, how to prevent it both at home and in school. What is pertussis? Pertussis, or whooping cough, is an extremely contagious infection of the respiratory tract. The respiratory tract includes the lungs and tubes through which air passes on its way to the lungs. Pertussis is caused by a bacterium called Bordetella pertussis, which attaches to the lining of the upper part of the respiratory tract and release toxins or chemicals that damage the respiratory tract lining, leading to inflammation of the airway passages towards the lungs, causes the airways to narrow. What are the symptoms of pertussis? The symptoms of pertussis are divided into three stages. The stage 1 is the period of early symptoms that may last for 1 to 2 weeks. The common symptoms during this time are runny or stuffy nose, low-grade fever, usually lower than 38 degrees Celsius, occasional coughing, but not usually seen in babies. The second stage is the period of later symptoms 1 to 2 weeks after the first symptoms begin. Those with pertussis may have a series of rapid, reserved, and uncontrollable coughing attacks. These cough attacks usually last 1 to 6 weeks, but can last up to 10 weeks. After a series of coughing attacks, the person with the cough will inhale strongly or take a deep breath, and due to the force of inhalation, the so-called whoop will be heard, which is a loud sound in the forced passage of the air in narrow airways. This is why pertussis is called a whooping cough. Other symptoms in stage 2 are vomiting, excessive fatigue due to a succession of strong coughs, difficulty breathing, which is seen more often in babies. Pertussis disease is milder in teenagers and adults compared to babies and children, especially those who have been vaccinated against pertussis, and their disease is just like a common cough. And the last stage, the stage 3, is the recovery period. The recovery from pertussis may be slow, but as it recovers, the cough becomes milder and less frequent. How pertussis spreads? The spread of pertussis is person to person, which means the bacteria move from one person to another because animals don't get pertussis. Pertussis bacteria are easily spread through the air. When a person with pertussis, if he sneezes or coughs, he can release small particles that contain only bacteria, and this bacteria can be inhaled by people around him. But even if he does not cough and sneeze, the person with pertussis bacteria can still infect people with whom he often breathes. Example of a mother holding her new baby child to her chest, so they are breathing the same air. How to prevent pertussis at home? First, vaccination. The most effective way to prevent pertussis is through vaccination. Infants and young children should receive the DTaP vaccine, which provides protection against pertussis among other diseases. Second, practice good hygiene. Encourage frequent hand washing with soap and water, especially after coughing or sneezing. Teach children to cover their mouth and nose with a tissue or their elbow when coughing or sneezing. And the third, limit exposure. If someone in your household has pertussis, try to limit their contact with others, especially infants and young children who are at higher risk of severe complications. How to prevent pertussis in school? First, we should have vaccination. Schools should ensure that all students are up to date on their pertussis vaccination. This helps create herd immunity and reduce the risk of outbreaks. Second, hygiene practices. Educate students and staff about the importance of hand washing and covering coughs and sneeze to prevent the spread of pertussis. And the third, cleaning and disinfection. Regularly clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces such as desks, doorknobs, and shared equipment to reduce the risk of contamination. In conclusion, pertussis is a serious respiratory disease that can be prevented through vaccination and good hygiene practices. By taking proactive measures at home and in school, we can protect ourselves and others from this contagious illness. Remember, prevention is the key in stopping the spread of pertussis. It's trivia time! Let's try your skills. Number 1. What is another name of pertussis? Yes, it's whooping cough. Number 2. How is pertussis primarily spread? Yes, it's through person to person through coughing or sneezing. Third, what is the most effective way to prevent pertussis? Yes, through vaccination. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you learned something. Stay safe and healthy.